Alright everyone, heading to work on a cold and rainy night. Looks like it's going to be some more rain, and then tomorrow, possibility of freezing, and then later in the week, snow. Not good. I don't like... Oh, there's a white cat in the yard. What? Oh, poor thing. Oh my God, beautiful little cat. Oh, out on this freezing wet night. I don't even know if he has a home, proper home. Oh Lord, I spent the weekend struggling with this giant Walmart purchased canvas, and the surface texture of the canvas is terrible. Cheap. Normally I get my canvases at Hobby Lobby, and the surface texture of the canvas is fine. But this thing, I don't know what they prime. I don't even know what kind of material the canvas is made of, but the way it's primed is too slick, and I'm having to fight with it. Not only that, you know, in the old days at the old studio, I had a high ceiling, big homemade easel. Now I've got a relatively small homemade easel, lower ceiling, and I just really can't accommodate the larger canvases. I wanted to start the new year out with a bang, you know. Oh, got some fucking deer on the side of the road. And the reason I wanted to do a bigger canvas, you know, start the year off with a bang, like I said, but also I saw a picture of Norman Rockwell painting in front of a canvas, and it was a good bit, not huge, but it's bigger than my normal size canvas. I thought, I want to try that. I want to do something, you know, and it's a struggle. Not only that, I didn't plan too much, and I didn't think about the composition too much. It's pretty shitty. Oh Lord, it was just the whole weekend. I stayed on task, but it was a pain. I do a lot of really thin, really soupy layers. And when you're doing, you do that on a smaller canvas, you can lay the canvas flat somewhere and let the layer dry. But this huge thing, I had to clear off half this table I have in the in the studio to lay the big canvas flat. It took forever for these layers to dry. I'm only now getting into the final stage where you concentrate on the details. Oh, I'll tell you something else. Decided to start. I waste so much time hunting for shit on YouTube to listen to while I'm painting, and I've just gotten sick of it. And plus the ads. YouTube has gone ad crazy. And there's a lot more ads now for ad blockers and ways to get around the ads and all this shit. I think YouTube is in on it because they know that they're putting more ads out, and they know it's going to piss people off, so they can make a little money on the side by promoting people who block ads or have whatever. I just think it's all a big, they've all got their hands in each other's pockets, if that's the correct metaphor. I don't know. Oh Lord, what else? I finally got that's a dead animal on the road. Jesus. Just ran over it. My online magazine on my blog, the name of the magazine is Lamp Clouding. It, years ago, I wanted to make a map to sort of describe where everything is in the magazine, where everybody lives. And then after a while I realized that wasn't enough because there are other realities, So I've got another map, and then I've got another map. So eventually I went up with 4 maps. And I decided that was enough. And I wanted to fit them together, and they're huge. I wanted to photograph them together So I got no room to do that. So finally yesterday, I took all 4 of them to University of Georgia campus, and I found a great big wall that I could tape them onto and photograph them together. If you want to see them, they're on my blog, lanceash.blogspot.com. And anyway, turned out pretty good. I was shocked. Very windy day. Almost lost them trying to tape them to the wall. What else happened this weekend? We're in a real pickle financially. Buying this new stove has really set us back, and then having to get it properly wired by an electrician after Lowe's didn't do their job properly. Oh, it wasn't Lowe's. It was just, we contracted to somebody else to set it. It's got nothing to do with us. You'll have to take the issue up with the people we contracted to install it. Take responsibility. Gigantic billion-dollar corporation. Oh, it's got nothing to do with us. Anyway, so we're having to really be frugal. So my wife's been making a lot of dishes from scratch. She made some homemade black bean burgers. They're pretty good. So I had one of those today. 2 slices of Swiss, some lettuce, homemade rolls to put them on too, and Coleman's mustard, made in Britain. Best mustard I've ever had in my life. Shocked. Comes in these tiny little jars. Boy, they are really gonna fuck up this country, I tell you. Trump and his buddy Elon and all of his attendant billionaire friends. And yet, the people of this country will go right along with it because they have been brainwashed by fundamentalist Christianity into believing that they deserve nothing better than to suffer. They've been brainwashed by fundamentalist Christianity into believing that unions are bad because unions inhibit the power of the wealthy to do whatever the hell they want. Because the wealthy are wealthy in their minds because they have been blessed by God, because they have shown themselves to be worthy in the Christian God's eyes to have all that money and thereby all that power. So who are they to take away what the Lord has given to these people? Not just in the form of taxation, which is bad enough because those taxes go to fund layabouts and minorities, but also in the power of the billionaires to screw people over. And that's exactly what people are there for, to be screwed over. If you just shut your mouth, keep your nose to the grindstone, you'll get your reward in heaven. Ah, magical heaven. No proof of it, but we can console ourselves over our own mortality and the mortality of everyone we know by believing that when you die, you'll wake up in the magic place where everything is wonderful forever and ever and ever and ever. Won't you get bored? No, because you'll be united with the Master. And you'll exist in a stasis of perfect wonderfulness forever. It's just horseshit. It is caveman thinking. which people still cling to because they're so terrified of death. And there's nothing that I can do about it. There's nothing that we can do about it. Well, let's hope it's a good week. It's after Christmas, so the big rush is over. But in my personal experience, after almost 27 years of working for the post office, well, more than that, really, about 31, 32, when you add up the other years I worked in various postal capacities before I became hired as a regular. The real mail rush doesn't really drop off until after Valentine's Day. But let's just hope for the best. Anyway, I listened to my CDs, like I said, in the studio, and I listened to my MP3 player, which I haven't listened to in a long time. I got hundreds and hundreds of albums on my MP3 player and various SD cards. Back before they cracked down on, oh Christ, what do they call it? The ability to convert music from YouTube videos into strictly audio format and stick it on your MP3 player. They cracked down on that. They had all these converters online. That's all over with. But before they cracked it down on it, I was able to steal hundreds of albums, all kinds of crazy stuff. Listened to Horn of the Rhino, which was a Spanish metal band, sort of similar to High on Fire. Officially, January the 9th is the day of observance for Jimmy Carter's funeral. It's supposed to give us either the day off or a day off in the future, or if they don't give it to us, they got to give us the 8 hours of pay. And I'm going to try to find out tonight what's happening, what's going on with that, because we don't know if we're going to get the actual day off or not. Kind of got the feeling we're not going to get that day off, and they're going to try to shaft us as much as they can, because that's the way things are. Remember that scene in Platoon when the guy tells Charlie Sheen, everybody knows the rich be fucking the poor, always have and always will. Oh, me. Well, I don't really have anything else to say at the moment, but I will leave you with a little reminder. Dolly Madison was a baking company that used to make zingers, little cakes, kind of like Twinkies, but with heavy frosting on top. And they used to have a promotional deal or licensing tie-in or something with the Peanuts characters. And I didn't find out until tonight. I remember that from back in the late 70s, early 80s, But what I didn't know until tonight, looking on Pinterest, is they had Peanuts trading cards that they put out associated with Dolly Madison. Be cool to have some of those. All right, everybody. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.